What's going on, folks? I'm Renegade. Currently, I'm looking for a quiet place to sit and talk. Or we're looking for a quiet place to sit, talk, and record. Yeah. It's in season here in Cape May, so there are a lot of people. Today's going to be a much different video than my normal ones. I'm going to sit down. I want to talk to you guys about a serious topic. How serious? Deadly serious. Now, let me find somewhere to go. Hang on. Alright, well, this is going to be as good of a place as any. Sitting on the hood of my car, in the neighborhood. What you gonna do, right? Alright, I want to read you guys a list real fast. Not a full list, but a couple popular names. Yeah. Anthony Bourdain, Dave Mirra, the BMX star, Lee Thompson Young, the actor from the famous Jet Jackson and Rizzoli and Isles, not to mention a bunch of other things. Robin Williams, the Robin Williams, and Chester Bennington, frontman for Linkin Park. Some of you already got the idea here. What do they all have in common? They all committed suicide. They were all dealing with depression that led to that step. Now, I have to say, this video was inspired actually because one of the YouTubers who I'm subscribed to, who I follow and watch, did a video about suicide. Not about suicide as in like how to do it or anything stupid like that, but about, in fact, I think the title was Don't Suffer Alone. Now, I'm going to put the link to that video down in the description because it was a very good video, and I think it's a message that should be spread as far as we can. That video was actually demonetized, so the YouTuber cannot gain any ad revenue from it because YouTube thought it was inappropriate in some manner or fashion. Alright, now the YouTuber that I'm talking about is EmeliaHartford. Now, what makes this video stand out so much to me is the fact that she, if you watch her channel, she's a very happy person, or at least she seems like a very happy person. Now, she does a car channel, and it's primarily on cars. Great channel. I do suggest it if you're into cars, and if you're into drifting, and if you're into the whole idea of learning drift. But it's such a difference. It's such a different video from what she normally puts out that it really strikes a hard chord. And she talked about dealing with depression and dealing with some of the effects that depression and suicide has had in her life. I'm not going to go into it because it's not my place. So click the link, watch it. All right. And we've got people on YouTube that make ridiculous videos for the sake of making ridiculous videos for people to have a reaction to, have a laugh from, you know, something like that, which is fine and dandy, but you get an important message and people they don't think it's appropriate. Anyhow, now why is this a big deal to me? Well, I, like many other people, deal with depression. I was diagnosed about 5 years ago with major depressive disorder, with suicidal thoughts, and borderlining on bipolar. The only reason I'm borderlining on bipolar is because my highs are not high enough to qualify me, because the major depressive disorder pulls it down. Now, I'm not currently in that state right now. I am managing. I've been very lucky lately to have a lot of things kind of show me the light in life, so to speak. But not everybody has that. All right, and for a long time I haven't had that either. As I said, about 5 years ago I was diagnosed with depression. I'm just going to shorten it to depression. About 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with depression, and I was put on medication. I was seeing a psychiatrist, and I was seeing a counselor. But at the time, I went into a rapid program. I mean, they wanted to get me stabilized, get me balanced, then move me down to another program. Well, I was going in, and they canceled my first appointment because the doctor had to go home. The next appointment got canceled for whatever reason, I don't remember. And then I couldn't get another appointment for ages and ages ago because there was suddenly a huge influx of people wanting to seek treatment because Robin Williams, the very famous, very funny, very talented, always seeming to be upbeat actor and comedian, had just committed suicide. When a celebrity commits suicide, it does create a huge influx of people that become more aware and who want to spread the message more, which is fantastic. I'm all for it. And I know I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon because Anthony Bourdain just committed suicide last week. Now, I don't really know who the dude was, I just know that he's a celebrity. And it kind of got the ball rolling in my head. Because talking about this subject is not easy for me. The problem with this all is, as great as it is for people to talk about suicide and depression awareness, when it happens, when people are talking about it around a celebrity's death, but then not talking about it later on, that's troublesome in my mind, because we're not still spreading the message. It becomes the hot topic of the moment. What I'm saying, there should be more awareness being made about this. Now, as I mentioned, I do suffer from it. And yes, I have been in that dark place before. I have thought about that step. And for anyone who doesn't understand why you might think this, why you might be considering that step, let me try and give you some minuscule idea. Alright. Living major depressive disorder, I deal with a lot of pain every day. Not like the bug just bit me. There was a lot of pain and depression in my day-to-day life. And there are sometimes it becomes overwhelming. And you can't see the light. You can't see a way out. You don't see an end to the pain. And if it just continues hurting and hurting and hurting, it starts to become unbearable. And you start thinking about how to make the pain stop. And if you're not getting anywhere, that step might seem like the only way to get the pain to stop. It's not a great way, and please, I do not want to see in the comment section anything about suicide is selfish. Okay, I want this video to be about spreading awareness. Okay. Now, for me, when I was dealing with my depression the most, I was very alone. I only had a couple people who I could talk to, period, and less people that cared about how my mental state was, how I was feeling. I'm eternally grateful to the people that did help me during that really dark time in my life, and I'm still grateful for anybody who is helping me. Like Victoria, whether she knows it or not, does a lot just in the way she is to kind of show me the light and help me, and I will be eternally grateful for that. Well, some people don't have anyone. For some people, it is they're alone, and they're alone in the darkness, which is a terrifying place to be. And I said, I've been there. I know it's not fun. So, if you can take anything away from this, if you are not somebody suffering from depression, if you see somebody who might be suffering, reach out to them, talk to them. Whether you know it or not, like, you don't have to be a psychiatrist to make a huge difference. If you see somebody who's hurting and you just sit and you talk to them, You have a conversation. You make that connection, just person to person. And maybe you guys share a laugh or something. Or maybe you have a simple conversation and it reminds them, hey, there are people out there. You know, people don't want to avoid you, because sometimes they can feel that way, especially when you're depressed, that people are avoiding you, that nobody wants anything to do with you. There's a person who could have that conversation with somebody in that state, in that mindset, in that dark, dark place. That can do wonders just right there. I'm not saying it's going to solve everything, but it can help. A little spark that maybe kind of starts the fire, or at least shows a hair of light, that it's not all darkness. And if you're one of the people like me who suffers from depression, and if you are dealing with being in that dark, dark place, you're not alone. As the video said, don't suffer alone, because you're not alone. There are people out there. There are people out there that are willing to help. In some cases, it's just a matter of reaching out to somebody and talking. Sure, maybe if you reach out to somebody, they could reject you. That is a very realistic possibility. But just because one person does it, whether it's because they're busy or because they're just a dick, because let's face it, there are a lot of dicks in this world. Just because one person does it doesn't mean that everyone's going to do it. Alright. I know personally in my life, if I know someone's going through a hard time, I try and make sure that I check in on them. I try to be there, to be the ear, to be the shoulder to cry on, you know, because I know how valuable that is. There are also helplines. Now, there's a number right here, which is a helpline, and you'll also find it in the description. Alright. It's a national helpline. If you're in that dark place, call it. It can't hurt, right? Now, I'm going to ask you all to like this video and share this video. Not for me to get anything out of it, but because I want to see this message get spread farther. Alright? There's not enough spreading the message. And I'm going to steal it from Emelia. Don't suffer alone. Reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. Even if it's just a normal conversation, make that human connection. Make sure that you know that there is some light out there. And don't let people suffer alone. Reach out to them, talk to them. Make that human connection. Be the light that could just illuminate somebody's life, just that little bit, because that by itself can be a lifesaver. Now, I also should mention that I do not know EmeliaHartford. Alright, I don't think she would know me if she fell over me. It's not a paid advertisement, not an endorsement, anything like that. Just a great video. Now, if you're interested in learning more about depression or bipolar disorder or any other mental health issues, there's another YouTuber that I'm going to suggest named Sammy, and I'm going to put her link in the description too. So you're going to have Emelia's video on Don't Suffer Alone, her YouTube channel, and then Sammy's YouTube channel. I think it's rawsammi is her username, but I'm going to check that. Alright. She does a lot of great videos on mental health and mental health awareness. And a lot of times it's speaking from a very personal place. And she kind of inspired me to be willing to talk about this type of thing too. So, hats off to you, Emelia and Sammy. Thanks a lot. You guys are a lot of help to me. Even if you all don't know it and you might never see this video. Whatever. So guys, be that light. And to quote Linkin Park with Chester's voice, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? I do. Be that light that keeps somebody from being the dying light. So I'll be back soon with another video, hopefully this time a little more upbeat. Until then, keep rocking and rolling. I'll keep taking care of business. And remember to have an impact on someone's life. I'll see y'all later.